This episode of Built Different is brought to you by Spas and More. Visit spasandmorestl.com for more information.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Built Different podcast. In studio with me, I actually have returning guest Armando. He is currently with the 6th District in St. Louis City, my home roots, so we're going to jump right into it. So, Armando, we were kind of talking right before we started, about your backstory and stuff and where you grew up. So let's just start there.
So I had a very interesting upbringing when it came to which country I was growing up at the time. Just to make it more simple, I grew up here in St. Louis. So I'm actually from the South Side.
Mm-hmm.
I was born over here in the States, but at some point in my childhood, I ended up going back to Mexico,
Mm-hmm.
which is where my family's from.
Mm-hmm.
And growing up down there was kind of just polar opposite, right? Here, it was the city, urban area. Down there is the countryside. Over here, law enforcement is viewed as a positive thing, despite all the controversies that are happening now
Right.
and in the political views. But down there, law enforcement is seen as kind of just one big evil thing.
Mm.
It's a really interesting concept. I remember growing up down there, and there's kind of a very faceless corruption that happens. Also, and what I'm about to say next, I don't really care who decides to investigate me or anything. But when I was down there, I kind of grew up. You know how we'll take North City for instance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kids grow up here, or just in St. Louis in general, and they're influenced by the gangbangers, the rap music, the hoods,
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff. But some end up becoming law enforcement anyways.
Yes.
Because it's not that they were participating in any of these things, but it's just something that was they grew up with.
Mm-hmm.
And they take that with them into law enforcement. And so they kind of when they hit the streets, they know the people.
Mm-hmm.
They know how the criminal mindset is and how they move and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
So I kind of benefited growing up in Mexico with the same thing. So down there, because it was the countryside, and mainly because of family members and stuff like that, I was very influenced by cartel music, their culture.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very violent area.
Mm-hmm.
So because it was a very agricultural small town. It's called Milky, right? It's in the state of Chihuahua. It's in a giant mountainous desert, and it was a very relatively peaceful town. When I first started living down there, I was little kid. And then eventually, just to kind of give the background of what was going on during the time, was there was a president who, as soon as he took office, he declared war on the cartels. So he started this whole movement. The cartels were not very happy about it. So violence just started erupting
Mm-hmm.
everywhere. And so even in our small little town, things started getting worse. A lot of people that I knew, family, friends, neighbors, community, very tragic ends.
Yeah.
Very, very tragic ends. So when my family finally decided to kind of just stay over here permanently, just because of what was going on,
Mm-hmm.
that led me to kind of start seeking what I want to do with my life. Okay. Like I said, I had family members that, they were kind of into it. I've had plenty of them. A lot of them end up in jail.
Mm-hmm.
Crime doesn't pay.
No.
It really doesn't. So much
do you still have family down there?
Yeah, I have relatives, very distant
Mm-hmm.
relatives.
Mm-hmm.
So interesting enough is that when I came back to the States, I decided to join the Army, or
Mm-hmm.
just the military in general.
Mm-hmm.
I had a cousin who got out of the Marines, and he kind of hyped it up and was just yeah, you want to be cool,
The
just you want to be a
mentality
badass.
of the
Yeah,
Marines,
yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah. He sold me on it, and then I'm just well, I want to join. So around 18, I decided that I want to join the military. I go to a Marine recruiter, and
Mm-hmm.
he did his trip in Afghanistan.
Mm-hmm.
But I told myself, when I want to join, I want to go do something a little more than just join the military.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what does every kid think that they could do is like special forces or some sort of soft unit? I wanted to be a sniper. So I said, I walk into like a recruiter's office and I tell them, what do I have to do to be like a sniper? Like, I want to be a sniper. Recruiters don't care. They're just trying to fill their quota. So he's immediately just like, oh man, if you want to be a sniper, you got to like shoot the wings off a fly off a horse's ass or something like that. You know, it's just like that.
They're full of crap. Yep.
Yeah. They're basically just telling me like, yeah, that's a long shot, buddy. But here we got these like supply jobs. We got like a cook job, you know, things like that.
Well, whatever's in the market at the
Basic,
time.
yeah. Whatever they're trying to fill positions they're filling. Yeah. And then I go to an Army recruiter, and the Army recruiter's like, I'm like, well, I want to go do something cool, like special operations. And he does. He breaks it down for me. He's like, well, you have like an option 40 contract. I was like, what's that? He's like, oh, it's you basically get like a slot. When you sign your contract, you get a slot. You'll go to like your job, AIT, and then you'll have a slot for airborne, and then you'll have a slot for RASP. And I'm like, what's RASP? And then he's like, well, it's like their selection. So then I go home and I do my research, and I saw like one documentary on it. I'm just like, that looks horrible. But I signed up for it, so let's go. Yeah. So I decided to go ahead and follow through with it. I had like family members who like, they doubted. They're just like, you're not going to make it. There's no way that you can, you know, possibly get through something like that. So I guess like moving on to like how airborne was easy. Airborne was cool. The only thing with like airborne is just like, there's just like hundreds and hundreds of people. And it's like, you're waiting in line just to like learn how to roll on the ground. Yeah. Basically. Yeah. I heard back in the day, it used to be like something that was like really, really cool. Like it was like a more elite thing. You know, they're like, it was like a smoke fest and you had to be like a really tough motherfucker to get through airborne. But I get through airborne. I'm just like, that wasn't that bad. Then I get to RASP. Oh my God. That was, there was like nights where like, I would like wake up and then just like internally cry and I'm like, why am I here? Like this is beyond mentally and physically abusive. I guess I'll tell like one interesting story about it. Kind of like the lowest point is it's like 8 weeks long. And then so in the beginning, the whole point of like a selection is the best way to explain it is that we don't need all 100 of you. We just need like 3 solid dudes. So it's like survival of the fittest.
And I'm going to interject here real quick. So with some military schools I know of, I would assume that this is probably the same, but is there like certain things that you have to pass in RASP, or is there like basically whoever quits is out? Yeah. And like, as long as you have the mental fortitude to just put one foot in front of another through the whole school, you pretty much pass. For the most part, like to an extent, you know what I'm saying? Like if you can meet all the like the military standards and stuff like that for that school and stuff, but most of it is just mental fortitude. It's mental. Yeah. It's
so think of it this way, like there are pass fail things that you have to do. Yeah. Those things aren't necessarily hard, but because you're being mentally and physically, I guess, I mean, they say broken down, like you're getting abused, bro. Yeah. Like it can be a little traumatic, but because you're going through such conditions, those easy things now feel like impossible. Yep. So yeah, there's plenty of things you got to pass. One is land nav. Actually, so what I'm about to get into, that week at Cole Range, that's what it's called. It's like the Hell Week, or like the area that they take you, that it's just like, do you want to be here or not? So you got to pass land nav. There's ruck marches that you got to pass, plenty of PT tests. Eventually you'll get to you got to shoot. You got to be able to shoot. The shooting was actually cool because it's not like the typical like Army.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah. Like, you know, get the, what is it, like 40 out of 40 distances. It's more CQM. So like close quarter marksmanship, like you have to hit like the A box. And I think it's like you have to get like 18 out of 20 just to pass. So it was interesting enough. You do plenty of like pistol shooting. And then there's like a week of like demolition.
Okay.
Breaching. It's like a breaching course. And I think that was probably the one that I had the most fun with, because you're making like, they're like, whatever your imagination is, man, just make a bomb and see if you can blow this door open. So that was cool. But so you do have to show like some aptitude,
right?
It's not just
you're
about
no longer in like a grunt unit. You're like, hey, you got to show a little bit of something to move on, type of thing.
So not only are you embracing the suck, you also got to show that you can function while you're doing it. So it was like week 2. It was like week 2. You go to what's called Coal Range, and it's this spot up in the mountains in Georgia. You have to do a 12-mile ruck march to get up there. And then once you get up there, it's just a constant smoke fest. That's all you're doing. Then there's like a little pit in the middle. There's like an open field. There's like a little pit, and there's only one way inside the pit. And I don't know. I forgot how many meters. It's a long distance. But it's like a wood line. So there's a famous phrase when you go through RASP, or just like in Ranger Bat altogether, they say, hit the wood line. And like after you graduate, when you hear like just like those words like hit the wood line, you'll like get like a little, it's like a little mini PTSD. But so whenever the instructors would come up and they'll just be like, hit the wood line, everybody has to funnel out through the only entrance, and you got to make it all the way down to the end and come back. But they give you a limit. Okay. And everybody has to make it back. And if one person doesn't make it back, as in you're like your weakest link, everybody just gets destroyed. Did we ever make it back in time? No. That was the point.
Meant to fail.
You're meant to fail, but what they do is that everybody's meant to fail, but even with the knowledge that that you're going to fail, what are you going to do? Are you going to be the guy that's running out of the pit, like with everything he's got? Or if you're like the guy running out and just dragging your feet, like, we're not going to make it anyways. Who do you want? The guy that no matter what, he's going 100%, or are you the guy that's just like, what's the point? And so they get weeded out really fast. A funny part about that is that because it was like 0-degree weather, and for some reason, Georgia hadn't been that cold or snowed in like 10 years for some reason. But the winter that we're there,
it's terrible.
The temperature's below 0.
Is this at Benning?
Yeah, it's at Benning.
What now? I guess they call Moore or something like that.
They changed the name?
Yeah. I don't remember what it is. I'd have to look it up and tell you afterwards. But I'm pretty sure they call it Fort Moore now. Yeah,
I've been out of the loop then. It's Benning. Benning, the home of the infantry. So you have infantry, you got airborne school, RASP, Ranger school, at least the first part of Ranger school. So it's up in Benning, and it's cold. And then so in order for us, usually they just make you sleep outside, like just in the open, or you do like a little patrol base. But I guess it was so cold that they said, okay, like we actually don't want you to die. So they made us put up a tent. We put up this tent. We keep playing more like games that culminate in smoke fests. And finally and this is just the first night, and they say, all right, go to bed. And then but then like after just going through all that, the past few hours, you're just kind of like, do we really get to go to bed? Like, do you really get to go to bed? Like, no. So we go inside. It's so cold that I remember there's like 2 guys. We call them the twins because they were like built exactly the same. They had the same hair color and everything. We call them the twins. And then it's so cold that they both like huddle. They both squeeze into one sleeping bag together. And everybody's just packed on each other like sardines. It's just body warmth. But the fact that they even like were able to squeeze into a sleeping bag together was amazing. So we're all in there just shivering. And it's just like, finally, I'm going to close my eyes and finally get some sleep. As soon as I close my eyes, the instructors decide to take a 240 machine gun. And mind you, it's got a blank firing on it. They take the 240. They start screaming, get up, get up. They're like, let's go, let's go, let's go. And then like everybody's just kind of like, what? And then you just see like the barrel of a 240 going in, just They just start letting it rip, and everyone's like freaking out. And so they're like, get to the pit, let's go. And but after I heard them, like the rounds go off and the screaming, that's when I like broke down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like I did break down a little bit. Like I'm like, why am I here?
Yeah. Like,
because that's when you start realizing like, oh, we're just getting started.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, so that was fun. And then so like we'll go into like quitting, right? So the goal is to make people quit. They want the people who are going to be dedicated 100%. One thing that they did, I guess they're like little psychological warfare, was you would be standing in the pit. If you weren't doing land nav, day or night land nav, you were getting smoked. And if you weren't getting smoked, you were just standing in formation in the pit, freezing.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever we were just standing in formation freezing, they would switch from like, roar to like, hey guys, if you don't feel like you can make it, like, it's cool. You can do bigger and better things in the Army, man. They go from like kind of like good cop, bad cop, I guess, in a way.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, man, it's cool. You can just go do other things in the Army, man. It's all right. This isn't for everybody. It's okay. No shame. No shame. And guess what? Also, if you feel like you can't, just say you quit. We'll let you go over there by the fire. They built a fire that we would like face from formation. They built a fire. They're like, go over there. You can sit by the fire. We'll get you out of here. Then they put up like a barbecue grill and they started making hot dogs. And they're just like, yeah, you go sit over there, have yourself a hot dog and everything. And just like, it's a trap. like it's one big trap. Now, but we start dropping like flies. People start quitting. And when someone quits, they don't just raise their hand and say, I quit. Mm-hmm. They wait till nobody's noticing. They'll like grab their rucksack, they'll drag it to behind the formation, and they'll try to sneak their way over here. Mm-hmm. So because a lot of people were doing that, they would come out and just like hit the wood line, and they would hit the wood line. Then you would have to get a head count immediately. Do we have everybody? And then you're like, 1, 2, 3, 4. Why are we missing 3 people? Mm-hmm. Why are we missing 3 people? And then all you had to do was just look over and just like, oh, there they are.
Yeah.
They're over there gathered by the fire. Then they like kind of like tried to break us more. When people were quitting and they kept trying to make more people quit. And so what they did is they kind of embarrassed, and I'm proud that I didn't quit, because they made them do like one of the most embarrassing things ever that you can think of. They as we're standing in formation, staring at them in the fire, trying to picture feel the warmth of the fire, they're just standing there, sitting around the fire, eating hot dogs. The cadre go up to them and tell them, they start giving them instructions. They get in their own formation, and then they start going, we love hot dogs. It's like these cheering and all kinds of stuff. And I'm just like, you know what? I have enough dignity that I would rather sit here and freeze myself than go through that. Like, that's embarrassing. I'm not a quitter. But yeah, made it through RASP.
How long is RASP?
8 weeks.
8 weeks.
8 weeks. Got the RASP. There's like 3 battalions, and I think I ended up in the best one that I didn't realize it at the time. Mm-hmm. But when I got my assignment, I was in 3rd Battalion, 3rd Ranger Battalion. At first, everybody's like, I want to go to 1st, because it's like Savannah, Georgia. Yeah. College town, beach. Yeah. The females, the fun. And 3rd Bat, you're just still there in Benning. Yeah. You're just still there in Benning. And I had, obviously everybody says, I want to go to 1st. Me and my buddy, who were next to each other alphabetically, we're listening to our assignments, and we're like, please. I'm like, Valenzuela. I'm like, Roger Sergeant, 3rd Battalion. I was like, damn it. And then my buddy next to me, he's like, I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. He pats me on the back, I'm sorry. And then he calls his name, Vi. It's like, Roger Sergeant, 3rd Battalion. He's like, damn it. So we ended up being stuck together anyway. Yeah. But I do appreciate it. I do appreciate that I was in 3rd Battalion. I did enjoy the deployments that I was on. I like the people that I worked with, and I kind of view that the same now in the department. You know, I like the district I work.
Yeah.
I like the people I work with. I like my leadership. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah, District 6 is where it's at. I remember going through the academy and like everyone talking like, oh, I want to go, you know, kind of had that same different but same little thing that you had with the Rangers, you know, like, oh, I want to go to the third, I want to go to the fourth because you got all this stuff. I want to go Central West End.
Yeah.
And the whole time I was like, I want to go to the 6.
Yeah.
Because I was like, that's, you know, and it was amazing. Whenever I got onto the PD, I was young.
Mhm.
Like I was going through the academy at 20.
Oh,
And then, like I turned 21, like right at the beginning of the academy.
so you grew up in...
Yeah. So like I was like super young. Like everyone called me a kid all the time and stuff like that. Like I grew up. Like that was really, I kind of grew up, and it was really weird whenever I got to be 23, 24, you know, I'm a senior officer pretty much at this point. Like,
to other guys.
And there's these guys coming in 30, you know, 35 years old. And I'm like, no, you don't do it that way. You got to do it this way. And it's just funny. But I definitely feel that with going to the 6th district, like there's just a different breed, no matter, they just always make sure that there's a different breed of humans that start there. You know? So
when it comes to like, and that's the thing is like when you say growing up, like, you know, you're referring to before I was even 21, before I was actually like an adult, you know, I was here. So I grew up in the Rangers, you know, like you grew up in here in the department, and it's a big thing because it's true. You grow up in a certain environment, and then you're dealing with like people who never been there. And for some reason, you just know it's all about experience. And that's what you have to respect is a person's time on. Absolutely. I did choose to go to the 6. Yeah. I did pick it. I didn't think I was going to get it.
Yeah.
There was a weird thing about like while I was in the academy, because I'm bilingual. And you're Mexican. Guess where you're going?
Yeah.
District 3.
Yep.
And no matter how much I said, because I had some instructors, had some other guys talk about like District 6. And the more I heard about the different districts, I'm just like, District 6 sounds like fun.
Yeah, that's where I want to be.
And if you're the type of person who wants to go, you would volunteer to be like, I want to go where it's rough, right? So obviously, you know, like guys like us, we're going to say like, yeah, send me. I want to go there. Or at least to get my teeth cut. Yeah. Or at least to start off, I want that experience over there, you know, and then if I want to move around later on, fine. But I want to start there. I expressed so much that I wanted to go there. Every instructor, the director of the academy at the time was just like, they're like, shut up. You're not going anywhere. You're going to go where you belong, buddy. And that's in District 3, or at least down south, something like that. When we put when we chose like our list of districts, obviously 6, number 1. Number 2, I think I put like maybe the 5th, because I was like, at least I'll still be in North Patrol.
I did, because I wanted to go to the 6 so bad, I put 6 and then 5th. And then because I'd always heard that even if you got to the 5th, as long as you were in the same patrol station, the switch was easier to go to a different district than the patrol station. Yeah. So, that's how I did it too.
Yeah, I put 6, 5, and then I'm just like, well, since everybody says I'm going to 3, and I don't want to, out of all the places where I'm going to be the most useful, you know, first, second, or third, I'm like, at least the 3rd, because at least I heard the 3rd had like some action in it too. So plus I know everybody. I know most of the community in District 3 and in 1. But I wanted to go away. What really sold it was I did a ride along with Landon Jordan. I think I mentioned that last time. But more so when I got to ride with him, you know, I told him, hey, I kind of want to come here, because he started showing me around, and I'm just like, wow, I really, really, really come work up here. And I told him like, but everybody says they're just going to send me to the 3rd because I speak Spanish. He's just like, well, that's obnoxious.
Mhm.
Well, that's BS because we got a Hispanic population up here too. And I'm like, where? I don't know these I don't know them. And so he takes me around and he's just like, he starts telling me about like his interactions with them and his dealings with them. And then he says, I think it was his partner. I forgot his name. But his partner is also Hispanic and he speaks Spanish. And he's like the only one up here. And I'm like, oh, well, this is perfect.
Yeah.
You guys could use me up here.
Yeah.
Please. Yeah. And that was my argument the whole time. It's just like, I'm like, 3rd District has all the Spanish speakers. Like they need us up there. Let me send me. Let's go.
Landon Jordan's a good guy. He came on like right before I got shot.
Okay.
So he kind of stuck into our squad there at the end. And so we were kind of forming him when, just like any other squad does, when you get a young guy and, you know, you get all the old guys that come in like, come here, I'll show you the way. So he was a good guy. He definitely was. He had a good head on him, and you know, he was good on calls, good. So I'm sure he's an amazing officer now. I'm sure. But
oh yeah, he's doing great.
Yeah, just the 6th District is like hitting the ground running like
Absolutely.
instantly. I remember I don't know if I mentioned this. I've mentioned this before in this podcast, but my very first day, I meet my FTO, Kelly Smith. Best FTO. I'm partial, but he's the best FTO. I think he only trained 3 guys. My partner, and then my first partner, and then myself. So Leland Bonner, and then Joshua Lowe's. So I think Joshua's brother actually works now on A Platoon. I think his last name's Lowe's as well.
Oh, Lowe's. Yeah.
So his older brother.
Yeah, they said he had older.
Yeah. So, but he trained all 3 of us. I don't think he trained anyone after that. So they broke the mold. So
yeah.
No, he was a great FTO. He's in Mobile Reserve now. He's a great guy. But I remember we were, you know, you're doing that first day saying, hey, this is your FTO. You're figuring everything out, and we're in the station. We're up at the front desk, and I don't know, is Goose still there?
Goose?
Yeah. Jan, Y-A-H-N is his last name. I don't know. He might be.
It?
No, he's on. Well, I don't know. He's on the desk.
Okay, on the desk.
Yep. He's on the desk. So
okay.
you would know him if.
Yeah.
But he's just this obnoxious guy. He's been behind the desk since I started. But
is he like an older fellow?
Yeah, he's older
white guy.
Very obnoxious.
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about.
Yep.
Yeah. I remember.
So they call him Goose.
He picks on me a lot.
But we were up there, and we're getting all my paperwork and stuff. You know, Goose is talking crap and all this stuff, and I don't even have my radio on. Like I didn't even know like what to do, like how everything was set up and everything. And so we're sitting there, and he starts listening to his radio like this, and he's like, "Come on." And I'm like, I got all this paperwork, you know, because he got me all the like toe slips, all this stuff. He's like, come on. He's like, come on, bring it with you. So I'm like, I'm trying to run out the door. He's like, drop that shit. And it all falls off the ground, and I just run out the door, and Goose is like, thanks, asshole. And we just keep running. So we're out to this car, and he's like, all right, hang on. And so I throw my seatbelt on, and we drive like 2 blocks or 3 blocks. I can't remember, whatever. And about that time, I just see this guy butt naked come running right in front of our car. And he's like, all right, let's go. Let's chase him. And we get out, and there's like 2 other officers come running out of the gangway, and we chase this guy, and it was crazy. But I was like, well, okay, I made the right decision after that. I went home, and I was like, what happened?
Yeah, like this is cool. This is fun.
Yeah. So it was definitely the 6th District is.
Yeah. There's that charm to working in environments like this.
Yeah.
Especially like when it comes to the department, the reason why people use it as a stepping stone, or so what I hear. Right? Same thing with like District 6 and just the calls, the arrests, the crime, the investigations that you can do there. It's just like no normal person gets to do this on a regular job. And that's why I remember being in like being in BAT, you know, I get to slide out of helicopters. I get to jump out of planes.
Yeah.
I get to, you know, it like the job hard and sucks, but it's like, this is cool.
Yeah.
And, you know, now it's like, I'm jumping out of planes. I went from jumping out of planes to like jumping out on bad guys.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I feel the same thing. And I'm glad that it's, you know, like I chose a 6 because I get that same feeling as when I was back in bat.
Mhm.
It's that nobody else gets to do this kind of stuff.
There's a definite sense of purpose too.
Absolutely.
So I'm in my hometown, there's just not a whole lot that happens there,
Right.
at all. And I actually started, I think it's been about a month now, but I've started dispatching for them.
Okay.
And it's very boring. Like I enjoy it. It's definitely purposeful. Like when you do get a call every once in a while, like someone actually needs you or something, like a medical or something, that's, it's a sense of purpose, but
Absolutely.
it's very boring. It's hard to learn the job because there's not a whole lot of the job to learn, like, at a time. But it made me appreciate my time in the city so much more. I think even if I was down in District 2, I would have seen more than what I see in my hometown. But there's a reason that in District 6, 9 times out of 10, when and if the department finally opens up transfers and stuff, I don't know if they have yet. I think it's still frozen, isn't it? When and if they finally do, a lot of those candidates will come from the 6th district. It's how it goes. Whenever I was there was a deep, there was just a reoccurring pool of people being pulled out of the 6th district into specialized units. A lot of mobile reserve is made up out of the 6th district. A lot of the SWAT guys did their time in the 6th district. Anti-crime, a lot of those guys are old head 6th district guys.
Yep.
So, or 8th and 9th, I think some of them are old enough down there to remember whenever there was 9 districts. So, but it's a very, very, it's a good, like you said, good place to cut your teeth in. So, which is very unfortunate for the community, but it does make good police officers out of there.
Yeah. And, going back to being purposeful is that, we're doing it for the few individuals that, am I having fun? Absolutely. But I still get to, feel like I'm actually helping somebody.
Yeah.
There's few people there that, it's unfortunate, the cards that they were dealt and they have to continue to live in this environment.
A lot of the North Point neighborhood, a lot of those were settled in 70s, 80s, back when it wasn't as bad. And a lot of those people paid a lot of money for those houses, and now they're not worth that, and they're kind of stuck there.
Yeah. So when I initially thought of the 6th district, while I was in the academy, when I was in the academy, I kept saying, I want to go to the 6th. We had an instructor, his last name was Walsh. He was teaching. He used to be like an anti-crime.
Okay.
And he was telling us all about it, and I'm just like, yeah, man, I want to go over there. And then my current Lieutenant Duke, when we were nearing graduation, there's the Commander's Day. So he was acting commander for the 6th. He shows up and he gives a speech that, stuck with me too. And exactly like we were saying, we're doing it for the few people that are there. There's still, he's like, yeah, you come over here, have fun. But he's like, but we're doing it for, the people who are stuck in the middle of all of this. And then I'm like, I want to work for that guy.
Yeah.
Never really met him.
Yeah.
But I just hearing him, I'm like, I want to work for that guy. That guy's cool. And then I eventually did. Interestingly enough, he's a great commander. Sergeant Holting is my sergeant. He's also a great supervisor. What makes them great is that it's not that they don't just look out for us because we're their squad or their platoon. Is that when you have leaders that trust you and that you've proven to them and through merit and through your work that you can be trusted to go and do police work or something like that,
Yeah.
They will have your back.
Yeah. No, that's I mean, you guys have on A platoon, you guys have a lot of the same caliber of leadership that I had whenever I was on B platoon back in the day. So I definitely see that, with when I was hanging around a little bit after Nate Speece got hurt again and stuff, seeing, I had never actually experienced Lieutenant Duke. He was always a sergeant on the A platoon that I never really, I think he was on A platoon.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure he was, but I never really got to experience him or actually work for him ever. Even on overtime, I don't think he was ever really around. So
Yeah.
I think he was in the 5th actually.
Okay.
I don't remember, but therefore I never worked underneath him. But now seeing kind of how his caliber of leadership is and stuff, it's a lot of like what I had whenever I was growing up on the department.
Mhm.
Damon Willis, Sergeant Damon Willis, he was top tier. Charlie Wall,
Mhm.
he's down at headquarters now. He was a great guy to work for. So I had a lot of those good, younger sergeants to help me out. Chris Rumpsa, by the time I ended up leaving, get shot and everything, he retired like right after I got shot, but he was top tier. So it's not only fun, but it's also great to work under good leadership like that.
Absolutely.
It makes the job what it is. So
It does. And when you don't work for a particularly good leadership, it makes you want to not be there.
there was a very, very brief time in my career, and if I ever, at the time it was my partner Josh Lose and I were riding together. I was in the Guard and I had just got back from a deployment.
Mhm.
And when I came back, we did not have a sergeant or anything. And we were very left out to dry, didn't have a whole lot of anyone to back us up and everything. And we both got tired of it, and we were getting a lot of the other squads where the sergeants were throwing a lot of the calls off on our squad.
Yeah.
Like, hey, it's our Thursday. We don't like, it's Thursday, dude. You can write a report,
Yes, please.
But they would make us take it.
Yeah.
And so we were getting these calls and stuff and getting screwed with them. And so I finally, one day I was like, hey, like, we got to do something. So we both put in for a transfer to A platoon. And 2 weeks went by. He got the transfer and I didn't.
No.
He still thinks to this day that I pulled my paperwork and we didn't transfer, but he was very upset about it. But then, like, right after that, we got Rumpsa.
Uh-huh.
And everything just went from like terrible to one of the best times in the department. We were allowed to go out and do police work again. We were going out getting guns every day, drugs every day. It was a great time.
Yeah.
So it definitely and that changed within 2-3 weeks. My thoughts on the department and where I was at and stuff.
Yeah.
It's crazy how that goes, but
Yes.
Great leadership will definitely turn that around for you.
It's the leadership and then it's the team.
Mm-hmm.
I guess just to backtrack to a little, my time in Ranger Bat, I had a platoon sergeant that didn't like me.
Mm.
My PT was good. I knew how to do my job, but he didn't like me.
Yeah.
You want to know why this guy didn't like me? So he's kind of like the new incoming platoon sergeant. He comes up to everybody in the platoon. He starts introducing himself. He's like, "Where are you from?" "Oh, I'm from so-and-so." "Oh, okay, cool." They exchange words about baseball.
Mm-hmm.
"Where are you from?" "Oh, I'm from so-and-so." "Okay, cool." And they start exchanging about sports and blah, blah, blah. He comes up to me. He shakes my hand. And he's like, "Hey, buddy, who are you?" I'm Valenzuela. I was like, "Where are you from?" "I'm from St. Louis." And you know what this dude says to me? He looks me dead in the eye and he goes, "Ew." And then like walks off. I'm like, "What are you in high school? Like, what is this?" Yeah. And I have so much things to say about that guy, but that's not what we're here for. Anyways, he goes, "Ill." And so like, he didn't like me. And he was a type of leader that, and these kinds of leaders are dangerous. The kind of leaders that they're more worried about who is sucking up to them, rather than who is a good soldier, a good ranger, a good police officer. This was a guy that all he cared about, it was ego. It all goes back to ego, right? He was more worried about his ego than, the platoon and everything functioning properly.
Mm.
And I've seen it in the Army. I've seen it in Ranger Bat. I've seen it in this department.
Yep.
I'm not going to name drop or anything or get into it, but it's everywhere. And it's just everywhere. Something that's unavoidable. So this guy, I guess, again, he doesn't like me. He tries to actually give me RFS. So RFS means like release for standards.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I talked about it last time. One bad eval, you're out.
Yep.
You're done. So one of the first ways that they try to get rid of people is PT test. Oh, surprise PT test to see if they fail.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He gets me and then like 2 other newer guys, and then he's like, surprise PT test. I crush it. The other 2 are lagging behind. And then like 3 more surprise PT tests later, he still can't get rid of me. And then it's like I do my job anyways, but he just doesn't like me. And it can be like that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, same way the Army, the department, it gets political. It's just like I just don't like this guy.
Yep.
Right. So he tries a couple more times to ding me on like PT tests. I crushed the PT test. But in the process, the other 2 guys get kicked out. So they get released for standards, and I'm still standing. And I think he had me like counseled one time. They still do like counselings whenever you have to do like the eval stuff, right? And then he goes, yeah, you're going to get a counseling. I was like, for what? And he's like, lack of motivation. It's like lack of motivation. Like all I do is come in and work and, you know? So it was petty. The guy was petty. But it's, I don't want to like air out his stuff, but I believe in karma. I think that what goes around comes around. And during one deployment, I think karma really did kind of, especially when it comes to like his marriage and stuff like that. So you know what happens when you go on deployment. And, so he was a very dangerous leader. I remember I was, like on FTO, and I was on nights. I like nights, but whenever they gave me a choice of like, where do you want to go? Do you want to stay here on nights, or do you want to go to days, A platoon? And then I had already like gotten to know, or I knew, know about like Duke, Sergeant Holting, the guys, Mitch, all of them. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go over there. I want to see what it's like. And there was. And then so we're going from leadership to like the team, right? So I'm riding with like Mitch, and then we also have Napoli, Oglesby, Selmir, and we also have an A platoon, Nelson, and then also Collins. He came over from nights with me too. All of us, we worked together. When I was on nights, there's one big comparison that I'll make. It's not that everybody on nights was like a bad coworkers. It's just that everybody was just kind of just doing their own thing, right? But once I got to A platoon, I remember the first arrest that I got with him. This dude, it was like a pedestrian check. He had some dope on him. Cool, he's got trafficking amounts. And Mitch goes, "You're writing this." I was like, "Yeah, sure." Because like I'm here to work. I want to work. Cool, put me to work. He's like, "You're writing this, perfect. I got it." But then I started remembering. I'm like, "Oh my god! Like I got so much work to do. We got to get back. I got to book them. I got to do the property. I got to write the report. I got to bag all this. I got to call. I'm just thinking of all the workload that I'm about to do over some dope, right? So I run back, we get back, I run into the holdover, and I'm like, booking sheet, like trying to fill it out, get his property together. And then, who is it? Oglesby, he comes into the holdover. He's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I got to book my guys, my arrest. I got to book them." And he's just like, "No, I have the booking sheet already."
Go write the report.
I was like, "Okay, well, let me just do his property real quick." He's like, "No, I will do that. Go to the report writing room." So I run to the report writing room, and then I'm kind of like, okay, let me start bagging my stuff, and then I'm going to start doing face screens. And Mitch is just like, stop. We're doing everything else. You just write your narrative. It's like, they look at me and just like, no, we do teamwork here, buddy. And then as soon as he said that, I was like blown away, and I'm like, I'm going to like it here. Like, this is what's up, because
that's the way it should be.
It should be like that. And I remember being on nights and being the new guy, being the probe, being the annoying motivated probe that my FTO was like always bothered by. I would always ask, "How can I help? How can I help? What can I do?" Like I'm not going to take myself out of service, but as long as I'm not on a call, I'm right here. I will help. I will not take myself out of service. Just let me help. I grew up in an environment like Ranger Bat. When you're the new guy in Ranger Bat, your life is a living hell.
Yeah.
When, in order to make it slightly less painful, if that makes any sense, in order to make it slightly less painful, you have to be the guy that volunteers for everything. You have to fight the other privates, the other new guys, to say, no, I'll do it. You have to be like that. And so I think when I came onto, when I hit the streets and started my FTO, my training, I was always, bringing that energy. And like I said, my FTO, Chris Amon, he's just like, he's like, you're always so motivated. It's annoying me. I'm not used to having a probe like this.
Yeah.
And it's like, I get it. Cause it's like, how should I say this? Like, I can't expect the same from other people. Right. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I can't expect that same behavior from like other people, but as long as I do me and as long as I help, people are going to notice. You will get, some merits. I do appreciate that. I was brought over to A Platoon. I don't know exactly why or what happened or who did what to bring me over there, but I am grateful. I remember my first roll call on A Platoon, and Lieutenant Duke and Sergeant Holtering are there. We're doing roll call, and they're gonna like welcome me, and then Lieutenant Duke looks me in the eye, or like he just looks at me and he's like, welcome. You better be ready to work. He's like, but what you need to understand is that like you are very fortunate to be brought over here and to be working with these guys. And as soon as I heard that, I'm just kind of like, I was like, okay, this is it. This is where I belong. Because I like this kind of like attitude.
Yeah.
But my response was like, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Because I'm still the new guy. I'm a little nervous. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, it's good to hear that that kind of stuff still happens around the department,
It's still alive. It's still alive.
There's when I was kind of growing up, B Platoon was where it was at. And we had, so now you guys, I'm assuming it's still the same thing. You got 13 areas, right? Like it's 11, 12, and 13 area. When I was, coming up, it was, you had 11 and 12 area, and then you had 13 area, but now they call it relief squad.
Yeah. It's just, the district is split between 11 and 12 area. And so, a relief squad just.
So whenever I was coming up, it was 621, 622, and 623 were 11 area.
Oh, okay.
And then 24, 25, 26 were 12 area. 27, 28, and 29 were 13 area.
13 area, okay.
And so whenever I was coming up, B Platoon was where it was at, but B Platoon 13 area was that.
Yeah.
So it's good to see. And then it kind of got formed into, because I never left. I was always like, I was trained on 13 area, and then I was there whenever they morphed it into release squads, and stuff like that. So it's awesome to hear that kind of stuff is still happening, because growing up, in that, I always had a good crew to work with. And like even whenever I was coming up, like Mitchum and Kayla Devine, they would try to come ride with our squad all the time, because we were that squad at that time.
Exactly.
Like they were trying to come over all the time. Yeah. So it's awesome, because I think a lot to do with the way you guys are now is because of Dylan Mitchum. I think that's kind of where that stemmed from. So
when I first got there, when I first got there, they're like, you're gonna ride with Mitchum, and it was very clear that he was like the ringleader. And but not only because they're like, you're gonna ride with him because you're gonna learn. You're gonna get ready to work and you're gonna learn. I'm like, let's go. I'm here. Like, this is what I want. And I did. I tried. I'm just trying not to like say like I sound like I'm tooting my own horn or anything, but like Yeah, I was trying to be useful the whole time. I'm just like, we would like chase a car, and it's just like, I pray to God that he bails, because then I get to do my part.
Yeah.
And then just jump out and chase this guy.
Yeah.
And it was like foot pursuit after foot pursuit, just harass after harass. Just, it was really intense. I mean, we had a good couple months writing together, and I'm learning on the go, and and every day I was trying to like, because I'm like, I'm trying to prove myself. I want to earn my spot here. Like, yeah, you brought me over, but like, I'm still trying to earn my spot here. And yeah, every time we go, like, I remember either the first foot pursuit I got when I was riding with Mitchum, we like pull his car over. It's like 4 deep, and it's just me and him. And we're like, hey, we got this car here. Is anybody coming? No answer. Like, but we're going to roll through the traffic stop. Everybody gets out. Mitch goes in the car. He starts running everybody. I'm standing outside with all 4 of these guys. And then just in the blink of an eye, boom, 2 of them take off running. And I'm like, I'll grab this one. So then I just chase one of them. And I remember as soon as I took off running, I'm like, Mitch, I kind of go like, and then I swear to God, he looks at me through the windshield and he goes like, you're doing good, buddy. Keep going. And I'm like, okay. So I chase this guy, and we go through like the alley. We go back onto the street. He tries to go through a gangway. I grab him there, put him down. He resists a little bit. I put him in handcuffs. I was like, great. I got him, because in my mind, I'm just like, like, oh, this is my moment. Like, I'm going to go prove myself. And I grab the guy. And then so as soon as I grab him, I'm like, oh yeah, they're like, because Mitchum called it. I was not even on the radio. I guess Mitchum was like, hey, my mini's in foot pursuit. And then I'm hearing on the radio, they're like, 21 Mini, what's your location? What's your location? And then I'm just like, where are we? And then so I even asked the guy, I'm like, do you know what street we're on? And but it turns out we were actually on the same street. We just went a block over, but we were just going up and down Gangway Alley. We ended up in the same spot. So there was that one. I remember jumping out on another guy. He's with his girlfriend. He runs out the car, chase him down, tased him, and it's always just like hey, good job. Yeah. Good job. And it's fun. But then I've also made my own mistakes. Like there was one particularly embarrassing moment where we're at this car stop. And it's 3 of us. I'm with the backseat passenger, right? Everybody get out the car. Okay, cool. Open the car. Big dude. And he was obviously hiding a gun in the car because the way he was seated, and he was, his suspicious behavior, right? As soon as I open the door, I'm like, you're going to turn around, and because I'm going to pat him down. He acts like he's turning around. He does like the felony, like pull up the pants. And I'm like, oh no. And then he takes off running. And so I take off running after him. For some reason, well, I guess his shoes aren't tied fully. So as he's running, his shoe comes off of his feet. And for some odd reason, as I'm chasing him, I end up stepping on his shoe that came off and slip on it. And I went like face first. Into the ground. I messed my nose up, I scorpion. It was just like a bad fall. And he ends up running and getting away. We eventually arrest him again because we identified him. And then when we found out who his probation officer was, and we're like, does he show up to his meetings? And he's just like, yeah. We're like, okay. We showed up and arrested him. But that really, because I was so used to, it's like when you're used to winning, I guess. In a way, I was like, I'm catching all these guys. Like, I'm shit, I'm doing so good out here.
And then you get humbled.
And I just get humbled real quick. And I was like, oh man. It took me like 3 days to come off of my funk because I'm just like, that was so embarrassing.
I have a little story like that. So there was I was still pretty new, but I was kind of like that. I was on my pedestal, like, hey, we're doing really good.
We all do. Yeah.
And there was a call. And I was the only one on my squad that night. There was an A call on the border of the 4th and the 5th, right across Grand.
Yeah.
And I'm hanging out in College Hill neighborhoods. I'm super close, like just right, like probably a block over from Grand. And so I hop right over there, and I'm like the first car on the scene. And I pull up on Grant and I don't see him. And then I see their car. So I drive up to their car, throw it in park. I'm looking around and I hear someone yell, "Hey." And I didn't listen to the rest of it. And I turn and I shine my flashlight down there. And I see 2 cops fighting this dude.
Okay.
And so I'm like, okay. So, and it's ice. It's, December. There's ice on the ground and everything. Okay. And the rest of the sentence was, "Don't come down the road. It is slick." And so I come down the road and I went a whole block just on my butt. Yeah. And I finally hit like a dry spot and I like tried to jump up. And as I had so much momentum, I just went and face planted. And I finally get back up and I run over there and the guy, I don't remember what exactly had happened, but the guy ended up getting up again. And about that time, I literally just threw everything I had into it. I just threw my whole weight into it, but just plowed over him, somersaulted, and they ended up getting him in handcuffs after that. And I'm sitting there and they're like, "Are you good?" I'm like, "Yeah, I think so." And I get up and like my pants, like my entire, from my knee all the way down is just ripped. Like I'm like, I'm going home.
Yeah. Like, I'm over it.
So I ended up, I went down to the hospital, got everything documented just in case anything came back up from it. But I wasn't embarrassed. Like, I helped them, but I was a little embarrassed. I was like, I just went down that whole hill in front of the whole neighborhood. Like everyone's probably laughing. So
like, oh no, my ego is like just destroyed.
Yeah.
Because and then they're just like, "Look, who's this?" And they pull up the dash cam. I'm like, "No, the dash cam caught it." And it was just bad. You just see me go poof and just scorpion.
That's awesome.
And because like my glasses fell off, like my body camera, all my shit's everywhere.
Oh yeah.
And because I still got up, and then I'm just like trying to keep chasing him. Went to the park, I lost him. I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna give up. And then but I'm like, okay, that's one down. I'm gonna make it up on the next one. Yep. And on the next one, that's when we pulled another car over, Mitch, and it's me and Mitch. There's a dude and a chick, and she tries to, I guess, like run out the car as like a distraction. And I grab her. I'm like, "No, where are you going?" And then I look over and I see the guy's in the driver's seat, and he's like looking at me with his door on the handle, and I'm like, "Don't do it." And he doesn't. He runs off, and I'm chasing him, and I'm just like, I'm not letting another one get away. Yeah. I'm not letting another one get away. And then and me and Mitch were joking about it because he's just like, "Yeah." So then I like started searching the car. I'm like, "Were you searching the car while I was chasing the guy?" He's like, "No, of course not." He's like, "Yeah, he's got it. He's not gonna let another one go." No, it's so like I love that part about my job. But that's not always what you're gonna get to do. No. I also try to be useful to my squad, to my platoon, and to the department as a whole. Any way I can. One of the big things is being an interpreter. I help anybody that I can. At first, when I was like really new, I'm still new. I haven't even dropped my P. I haven't even dropped my P yet. But when I first started, I remember, like always volunteering, like any Spanish-speaking officer switch to district this, any Spanish-speaking officer, and I would volunteer every single time. And then eventually I got tired of like volunteering for like the upteenth accident. So I stopped doing that. I'm just like, all right, no more accidents, something a little more serious. Then one night, because I'm still on nights, I was with Weber. He's FTO, and he's in the bureau now. Good dude. Liked riding with him that night. But he was cool. He's just like, "Whatever you want to do, buddy. You want to pull some cars? I want to pull some cars." I'm like, "Okay, cool." So we start the night, and then we hear on the radio, any Spanish-speaking officer switch to District 1. And then I'm like, "Hey, can I do it?" They're just like, "Yeah, of course." Because that's like my thing. I'm trying to be useful. So I switch over, and I'm like, "Hey, like 621, we're going to respond." And they're like, "Okay, can you show up to, what was it? Gustine?" Yeah, it was like down south on Gustine. And we're like, "Sure." So we start driving down there. As we're on our way down, we're getting on the highway, and we get off on like Gravois because it's going to take us straight down there. The dispatch keys up on the radio. Oh, no, the officers down there key up on the radio. They're like, "Hey, can you tell them to expedite?" And we're like, okay. I was like, "Hey, 621, can you expedite?" And we're flying. We're like, what the f*** is going on? he pulls up like the call notes, and it says like Hispanic male is trying to kill himself. Right. They have a standoff going. That's like in the call notes. And it's like, oh, okay. So then we get down there. It's in this apartment complex. I jump out. I walk up there, and I'm like, the sergeant's there. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? And they're like, yeah, this kid in there is trying to kill himself. He's got like 2 knives pressed against his throat. And he's saying he says he wants to kill himself. And he doesn't speak English. And without thinking, not like this is my time to be a hero. It's just like without thinking, I like walked right in. And I'm like, what's going on? You know, like, and I'm trying to talk to him. Long story short, you know, the guy was just going through it. His wife was trying to leave him, take the kid. He's not from here. He's just got a lot of shit going on. And he wants to end it all. He says he wants to end it all. How do I do it? I don't know. But I end up talking the guy down. And then he's like, well, I can't, like, I've gone too far. You know, even if I don't die or I kill myself right now, he's like, you're going to take me to jail. And I'm like, no, that's not true. Like you're not trying to harm anybody but yourself. Like, we're going to give you a ride to the hospital. I was like, that's what we're going to do. And then mind you, the whole time that I'm having this conversation with him, everyone behind me's got like guns and tasers. And then they're just like, what is going on? Like nobody knows what's going on. And I tried. They're like, hey, don't get so close to him. I'm like, I got it. Cause like in a way, as I'm talking to him, I'm just like, okay, I can do this. I think I can convince him to put the knives down. He agrees. He says, he's like, well, can you just sit down and talk with me? Cause you know, mind you, I'm keeping my distance, right? Cause he's got 2 knives and he's got them like right here. He's like, can you sit down and talk with me? And I'm just like, I can't do that. I was like, I can't do it. You have to put the knives down first. If you don't put them down and you do anything weird, my coworkers are going to make sure they're going to do whatever they can to protect me. Okay. So put the knives down first. And he's like, okay. So then he puts them down on like the stove and he sits down and I'm just like, staring at the knives. And then he's like, I'm like, where do you want me to sit? And he's like, oh, can you sit right there? And then I'm like, okay. So I act like I'm walking towards the chair and then I just like jump on top of him. I was like, put your hands behind your back. So I take him into custody. And it was like, everybody was like holding their breath because I swear to God, as soon as I jumped on top of him, everybody was like, oh, thank God. And everybody jumped in and we took him into custody. And it was a lot of like, you know, going back to like being purposeful. It was a good moment because like I felt like, oh, like I think I did something good. And everybody was like, you know, like pats on the back, good job. What the even happened?
What'd you say to this guy?
Yeah, like what was going on? And then, but they, people were like giving me some recognition. And I was just like, thank you. I appreciate that. You know, Brian Hayes, right? Yeah. Brian Hayes, him and I forgot who else. They put me in for like a CIT award or something like that. And they ended up giving it to me. So I was like,
yeah, Brian's he's a negotiator.
Right. So he's like, hey, I heard what you did, man. Like, I put you in for it, and we made sure to put you in for it, bro. And that was a good job. I'm like, okay, thanks. He's like, yeah, man, I thought you were like trying to take my job or something. I'm like, no, I'm good, bro. You can keep that job. It's like, I never want to get called to do that again. It's like, that's not, But it's always nice to see that, like, when people do recognize it and give you like merits for, you know, like your work, it's a good feeling. It makes you feel like it's not just that you help somebody, but like, you know, it's more worth it. It's always a good feeling.
Absolutely. Well, Armando, thanks for coming on. You had a lot of good stories. I'm sure you'll have a lot more in 5-10 years.
Hopefully.
If you stick around. So
yeah. No, I definitely intend on it.
Thanks for coming on.
Yep. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.